Good evening, everyone who might be there. I'll bet nobody's there yet because we just turned on. We're 5 minutes early right at this moment. And Louisa will help me with this in a minute. Can we put it so I can tell if somebody texts, if somebody responds? Oh, that's what it is. Thank you. That's why we need people under 30 around us. That's why we need teenagers around us to show us what you don't know about the web. Well, I'm delighted to do a whole bunch of stuff tonight. I called it Voices Are Rising, in that I've been seeing so much activism lately. Louisa and I have gone to maybe a dozen rallies, protests, vigils, and it's really exciting, I think. Never saw any violence at all. So unfortunately, that's what some people who don't know anything but the wrong news maybe are thinking of this, that there's a whole lot of violent anger out there, and it just hasn't been that. Thing I find I'm a little sorry about is that there's not much music. Young people chant and that, and so I guess that's music in a way, but not the music that I remember from my youth and all the protests we went to. At the risk of being a little redundant, I've played this song several times lately, but I got a request to do it. So before the hour even, I'm just going to play a couple verses of the thing that I just play all the time. I never get tired of playing this. I got to sing this song by Ivan Lins that we put new English words to when I first joined the Paul Winter Consort. So it's kind of become my anthem. It has a chorus like this. In a circle of friends, in a circle of sound, all our voices will blend when we touch common ground. Here's a verse. Voices are calling round the earth. Music is rising in the sea. The spirit of morning fills the air, guiding my journey home. Here is the path beyond the forest. Here is the song I always knew. I remember it just around the bend. In the village, the music never ends. In a circle of friends, in a circle of sound, all our voices will blend when we touch common ground. Calling round the earth, Music is rising in the sea. The spirit of morning fills the air, guiding my journey home. Here is the path beyond the forest. Here is the song I always knew. I remember it just around the bend. In the village, the music never ends. In a circle of friends, in a circle of sound, all our voices will blend when we touch common ground. Hello, everyone. That was a little prelude. We started a bit early. I see people are dropping in. I see there's notes there. They're a little bit too far away from me to see what who's there. Hi. I have put together a bunch of songs for tonight. A couple of new things of mine, and one old one I had to practice. That to resurrect, and along with some traditional stuff to celebrate what's been going on lately. Thank you. A couple of people said, as soon as such and such is over at the Unitarian General Assembly, I'm going to be joining you. Anybody there yet already? Hi, you use our streaming General Assembly. Wrote this song a while back, well, not very long ago. That's what I meant to say. And I wasn't sure if it was, is it a Christmas song or is it about the birth of a child? But as things are going, you know, I thought I'd put this in the program. In the midst of COVID and all the upheaval and that people of color are experiencing more threat, health threat, mainly because many are working and maybe in unsafe places too, are being asked to work in unsafe places, and safe places and unsafe places. So that sounded like maybe some kind of indictment or something. No, it's just got to work, and they're keeping us safe, and we who get to shelter at home most of the time, other than I've been going to protests where everybody wears masks and everybody stays pretty far apart, I don't do a whole lot other than mow the lawn and risk going to the post office and the grocery store and so on. So especially for people of all races all over the world that are bringing children into the world right now, I think I need my dollar store glasses for this. Ah, yes, that helps. I keep thinking I can do without these. If anybody notices that I got a haircut, boy, it was getting long. Yes, I got a haircut. Of what's left up there. So I don't know what the title is. The open line is, shall we rejoice or shall we mourn? Shall we rejoice, or shall we mourn, that to this cruel world another child is born? But may he grow into maturity and ask our help to save humanity, to save humanity. Some yet will say she'll not be blessed, and attack her virtue and her holiness, though she will pay dearly for such deeds. For greater peace, she bravely sows the seeds. She bravely sows the seeds. So great and small their works may be, and all they will touch will come to clearly see. All humankind as one single tree, all branches of one sacred family, one sacred family. They will fail and they will learn. It's for us our charge as well as our concern. For we are called, and some will reply. Some live the truth, some blindly will deny. Some blindly will deny. Oh, life is short and too direct, and its challenges deserve solemn respect. But joy will reign and hearts be set free. Spirit will not surrender easily. Surrender easily. Well, that's the first time. Well, no, that's the second time I've played it for anybody. This is a song I haven't played for anybody. Well, Jimmy Merritt, if you're out there, I played a concert down in North Carolina a while back, and with Jimmy Merritt, a great musician, and we were talking about improvising as well as playing your rehearsed stuff. And I said, well, I got these new words, and just at the time said, well, I could play it any different way. I could, let us sing for strength in numbers, or let us sing for strength in numbers, you could, I don't know what melody. So, it ended up being that night a little bit like a Brazilian thing that from there I said, okay, well, I guess that's maybe the way the song goes. Is that a little fast? Let us sing for our strength in numbers. Let's freedom might never be betrayed. Sing to fortify our hearts and clarify our dreams, even as the peace we seek must be delayed. Even as the peace we seek must be delayed. Sing loud and raise the growing chorus. Sing to turn back the forces of hate. And sing a brave lament with healing refrain for a love too little and too late. For a love too little and too late. Let us sing for a patience with the process. Sing for courage on the road hard and long. For every worthy journey holds obstacles and snares. Heavy steps will be made lighter with a song. Heavy steps will be made lighter with a song. We sing and birth a peace resounding in our harmony, our dreams, and our faith. Sing for we are measured and will be sorely tested. Oh, that shall not mean we will wait. And that shall not mean we will not wait. That was fun. I'm a little dubious about singing this song, but I want to sing it. Dubious. That's not maybe the right word to say. I'm reverent about singing this song. I can hardly keep a tear from my eye if I is singing this song. As the world is rising up to say this has not been right for so long. The first peace marches I went on half a century ago, or more than that, and I hate to say, no, I don't hate to say, people were saying the same stuff. Did we get anywhere? Yeah, a little. But now I really feel that there's something happening that is powerful, that's going to work this time. There's going to be some changes, that the marching will evolve to legal process and to what's the word I want there, to law. And maybe our appearance will not be such a reason for injustice. When I first heard this song, I thought I must be extraordinarily ignorant to not ever have heard it before, because I was in a predominantly African American celebration, and everybody knew the song but me. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the presence has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. My screen shut off there. Well, there are 3 verses to the song, and I know with African American musician friends, if I said I felt ambivalent or something about singing the song, they'd say, no, go ahead and sing it. I know. But somehow singing it all by myself right now, an old white guy, it kind of becomes like, oh, I'm giving you a history lesson or something. But I am. It says, stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears, I can sing it. Why am I apologizing for singing it? No, that's not the word I want. Am I afraid of singing it? I guess. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered, out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who has brought us far, thus far on the way, thou who has by thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray, lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee, lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee, shadowed by beneath thy hand. May we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land. There's a lot of bitter history in there. It says bitter. Bitter, stony the rod we trod, bitter the chastening rod. This song was written a century ago by James Weldon Johnson, and most people call it the African American national anthem. The other song I'm kind of missing as we're out there marching these days, some marching, a lot of holding placards and I never thought that I would see such a thing, and African American friends are saying they'd never thought they'd see such a thing. A predominantly white crowd chanting Black Lives Matter and things like that, and that we've got to have racial justice. Just the other day, we found ourselves in a mostly white demonstration, and the greatest thing is to watch people of color, black people, driving by in a car and seeing, even behind the masks, you know, all the white people there for them. I hope it's not a fad. I hope it is not a fad. So this is that other song. What you usually do for this song, if not sitting down or kneeling or something, so as not to be threatening to the police. This is where you link hands, and not just kind of this way, but right hand over left. You take the hands of the person next to you. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I know that I do believe that we shall overcome someday. So it's a zipper song. You just change one line, you got another verse. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I know that I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We need one more verse. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I know that I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Here's a little history. Some of those marching songs. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm gone bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. To that land where I'm bound. They'll be singing in that land. They'll be singing in that land. They'll be singing in that land. They'll be singing in that land where I'm bound. They'll be singing in that land. They'll be singing in that land. They'll be singing in that land where I'm bound. Where I'm bound. To that land where I'm bound. the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. There must be a heaven somewhere. Over my head, I hear trouble in the air. Over my head, I hear trouble in the air. Over my head, I hear trouble in the air. There must be a heaven somewhere. Peace is flowing like a river, flowing out of you and me, flowing out into the desert, setting all the captives free. Someone singing, Lord, come by here. Someone singing, Lord, come by here. Someone singing, Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. Someone's praying, Lord, come by here. Someone's praying, Lord, come by here. Someone's praying, Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Sing it like you did at camp now. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it, this little light, I'm gonna let it, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it, I'm gonna let it, sing it again, let it shine, let it shine, let it, I'm gonna let it, one more time, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine, I'm gonna let it shine. Down this guitar, pick up the other guitar. Wondering about doing this song. Yeah, okay. I haven't done this song in a long time, and I'll admit to you, I put it down a step. So, among the many things we're thinking about now, about maybe the alternative to calling 911 when you got a problem about something and having armed troops respond. Maybe that's not what we need. Maybe we need another number where you get a different response. And I've said this a couple of times in concerts before. I'm a veteran, played in the Army band, but I went to basic training. I learned how all that stuff goes and learned about a uniform service. I have a respect for that. I really wonder, for most everything, do we need police as we have it? I think that was an investment to protect the rich against the poor, and it's been there, for a long time. Used to be the rich had their own private forces, but then it got to be every town has them, and you've probably heard, as I heard at least a dozen times in the last few weeks, how police, if you listen to National Public Radio, how police evolved out of slave capturing forces, and the National Guard was started to keep workers down and keep the striking workers in line, and police became a matter of control. But police are given the power to arrest. They're not given the power to torture. They're not given the power to beat up, to torture. Let's leave it at that. That's not their job. And I know in a uniformed force, accountability is not bad for morale. So if the Fraternal Order of Police tell you it's bad for morale, I translate that. Accountability, it's bad for corruption. It's going to do in corruption. That's what we need, accountability. And we need to look at not only from the profiling, from the school to prison pipeline, to the trauma to prison pipeline, to the illegal imprisonment, perhaps the, what's not the right word, the unwarranted imprisonment. There's so many people that were unlawfully imprisoned. And then these days we find, leading some of the movements that I've seen. I've seen several people who are not only veterans of military, but they're veterans of the prison system, arrested unlawfully or for next to nothing, what a white person wouldn't get arrested for. And we're calling that mass incarceration, I guess now. That was that's something that rose up, unfortunately, in the 90s, and under a Democratic president. We made great strides in imprisoning an awful lot more people, but we kept going through through administrations of both political parties. The song ended up being more than I intended when I started writing it. I pardon that long interlude between songs, but to set this up, it has to do with mass incarceration, I guess, or incarceration. Back long ago, playing with the Paul Winter Consort, we were doing something and we had to wait all day for something. And I went to Central Park and walked around, and I forgot it was there. But I walked around the corner and I'm face to face with a lion at the Central Park Zoo. I think I was told the lion's no longer there, went to Brooklyn, but something about it, seeing the King of Beasts there, not looking the way you'd think the King of Beasts would look, broken, I would say. I wrote the song, but ended up writing about a lot more than just the lion. I'm the lion in Central Park, not feeling my best today. I'd rather not be seen in this condition, but I guess that's not for me to say. You rescued me from the steaming jungle and put me safe on this cement floor, far away from the dangers of the wild. There's no running with the pride anymore. Too old to fight, too tired for rage, heart of a lion dying in a cage. Too tired to resist, but too old to change. Outside the seasons change, but the bars still look the same. Thank you for your civilization. Food from a can, water from a pipe, electric lights. Hey, I'm sure glad I don't have to lie out in the grass under the stars at night. Was I crowding you? Was I threatening you? When I looked you in the eye, were you afraid? Nowadays I just look away rather than confront you in the world you made. Confront you in the world you made. Too old to fight, too tired for rage, heart of a lion dying in a cage. Too tired to resist, but too old to change. Outside the seasons change, but the bars still look the same. In Africa the rain would come and heal the parched earth, and here the water seeps between the stones like the sweat of a toxic body, with a chill right to the bone. Central Park was my refuge from the city. You learn to live with what you know ain't right. They take your rights, your pride, it's a compromise. But when they take all you own, would you stand up and fight? When they come for the one you love, you just might. Too old to fight, too tired for rage, heart of a lion dying in a cage. Too tired to resist, but too old to change. Outside the seasons change, but the bars still look the same. If you cared enough to look below the surface, you might be surprised with what you'd find. Your blue eyes see the skin of a black man, and I'm the lion. I'm the lion. I'm the lion. In my mind, lying in my mind. I have not been able to figure out how to get the computer to stay on. It's supposed to, I've got it, stay lit for 3 hours or whatever the most is that you can do, and it doesn't want to do it. I haven't given a commercial yet tonight, and it's my fault. Whoops, I dropped my glasses. We would very much appreciate your donations to this concert right in that corner. Is where you can go. Whoops, I just knocking everything over. Where you can go to make a donation with PayPal. PayPal.me/JimScottMusic. Another place you can go is here to our website, JimScottMusic.com. There is a button right on the front page to make a donation, or you can visit the store and you could buy some of our books or CDs and things like that, and we much appreciate that. And I'm getting technical. Venmo, this is it. So Venmo, it's James. When I'm in trouble with my mother, James-Scott-456. 458. Oh my God, 458. So that's my Venmo number, if that appeals to you. A little song by Solomon Burke. You better listen, my brothers and sisters, 'cause if you do, you can hear their voices still calling across the years. And they're crying across the ocean, and they're crying across the land, and they will until we all come to understand. None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. One of us is chained. None of us are free. 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 If one of us in chains, none of us are free. Well, there are people in the darkness, and they just can't see the light. If it don't say it's wrong, that says it's right. We got to feel for each other, let our brothers know we're here. Sisters, got to get the message, send it loud and clear. None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. One of us is chained. None of us are free. Where to use salvation isn't very hard to find. Can find it on our own. Got to get together in spirit, heart, and mind. I played the wrong chord, but if you can just take that out. Till all of those who are suffering knows they're not alone. None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. free. If one of us is chained, none of us are free. If you look around you, you'll see what I say. 'Cause the world's getting smaller each passing day. Now it's time to make some changes. Time we all realize that the truth is shining right before our eyes. None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. If one of us is chained, none of us are free. 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 If one of us is chained, none of us are free. I forgot what else I was going to do. Oh, yeah. I had to look at the list. You know, I have anthems that I have kind of come out of marching down the street. That's the wrong thing. I'm going to use the other guitar. That one has steel strings. This has nylon strings. I've come to be playing pretty much with my fingers. I used to use a flat pick some on the steel string, but trying to age ungracefully, doing just carrying one guitar around a lot of the time now, and that's this one. You can turn up the treble on this one here when it's plugged in. It's not, and you know, make it almost like a steel string guitar. This song came out of marching down the street with the Great Peace March. I didn't go on the whole thing, but in Baltimore, after a fateful concert the night before I got to play with Pete Seeger and Peter Yarrow and Tom Chapin and Odetta and Wild Women for Peace and Collective Vision. Walking the next morning, I made up this little chant and it turned into a song. The chorus made it into the Unitarian Universalist hymn book too. Or her book, the way we do things. Or their book. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough for me. I could sing one line, say you sing it backward. As I can't hear you, I'll just sing it again. You jump in there, mumble along with Jim. On to nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Well, I'm full of such mixed emotions right now. Got to say it to someone. more than just salad days, but got to be in it for the long run, for the long run. I don't know what I just played there. You can add your own chords. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough for me. How can weapons of war be weapons of peace? We are fighting in a different fashion. We to believe in peace through strength, but our strength is in our compassion. In our compassion. Solo la paz es suficiente. Solo la paz para mí. Solo la paz para mí. Solo la paz es suficiente. I have taken this song all over the place and ended up putting it in different languages. Rien que la paix qui suffit pour moi. Rien que la paix qui suffit. Rien que la paix qui suffit. Rien que la paix qui suffit pour moi. Frieden allein ist genug für mich. Frieden allein ist genug. Frieden allein ist genug. Frieden allein ist genug für mich. Frieden allein, oh, what's another one? Mir toka mir nujanam сейчас. What language is that? Mir toka mir nujanam. Mir toka mir nujanam. Hoi! Mir toka mir nujanam сейчас. Oh, it was a day when it was controversial to sing a verse in Russian. The evil empire. We just have to watch out that we employ people who go looking for evil empires. We're inventing them. And put in another chorus. La Shayel Salam Li. La Shayel Salam. La Shayel Salam. La Shayel Salam Li. Salam. Peace in Russia, in Arabic. Mir, peace in Russian. When it turns into a round, we can stick to English. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough. So somebody come in there. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough. Nothing but peace is enough for me. Peace is enough for me. I wrote this song almost as a joke, and I've only played it once. But I came to it again, thinking about protest songs and all that. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not such a joke. Temperature rising, economy in a fall. You can go from little to nothing in no time at all. Blinded by injustice to our sisters and our brothers. Nothing else to do but put foot in front of the other. Some is the land of the free. What's in it for me? But you know it gets so expensive to keep people in poverty. Fanning the flames of hatred, all the flickers of hope are smothered. Sometimes there's nothing else to do but put one foot in front of the other. Weapons of mass destruction hanging over every woman and man. Young boy, what makes you feel so secure having that weapon in your hand? Just giving earth surrenders to those who steal from their own mother. Nothing else to do but put one foot in front of the other. World getting warmer, people getting colder, justice moving slower, crooks getting bolder. Are we getting any smarter? Just getting older. Can't offer you absolution, but I can offer you a shoulder. This is no time to let go of a sister and a brother. Together we just got to put one foot in front of the other. Hard to hold on to what you're not sure you got, and feel like we're losing ground even when we're not. Gotta stand for reason, stand for what is right. Sometimes you just gotta stand against those who just wanna fight. Well, the one in the shadows turning us against one another. Together we just gotta keep on putting one foot in front of the other. Well, where do we go from here? This marching on the street, raising our voices, yes, raise our voices, but our voices in this democracy have a bigger job to do. And we got a few months right now, my friends. You know who we're talking to. I'm preaching to the convicted usually, so, you know, I didn't mention any names about candidates, but we got a few months to save the world right now. That's my opinion. I don't think it's any exaggeration. So a little song about all of that. victims won't be afraid. We've got to heal a broken world we made. Make a change, make a choice. The world needs your voice. Register your intention, rock the boat. You can't complain if you won't vote. Express yourself, get everybody else. The world needs your voice. The chorus, the world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. Make a change, make a choice. The world needs your voice. Raise your voice, now is the hour. Not one voice than many, speak truth to power. Cry in anguish, shout and rejoice. The world needs your voice. Chorus, the world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. Cry in anguish, shout and rejoice. The world needs your voice. Here's the big words. The forces of exclusion, obfuscation, and confusion. The heads of power, those in the shadows, who feel the rising tide, they're gonna know which way the wind blows. Raise the spirit, raise a groundswell, raise consciousness, raise a little hell. Faith resounding, a joyful noise. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. Faith resounding, a joyful noise. The world needs your voice. 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 Sing it softly. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. Sing it a little louder now. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. Speak for peace. The world needs your voice. Speak for love. The world needs your voice. Speak for justice. The world needs your voice. Won't be a full harmony. The world needs your voice. Until every voice is free. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. Well, musicians right now could use your contributions as well. Let me get another commercial in there. It was fundraising day on WGBH NPR radio today. All day long, they're harassing you. We need those contributions. Keep us going. In this era, this is how I'm staying a little ahead of what? We won't say. So Venmo, I gotta hit that. Venmo, you can Venmo me James-Scott-458, or right there on the screen, PayPal. And I want to say again, I'll send you to my website, jimscottmusic.com. And, you know, I would love it if you're seeing me tonight on my professional page, not my friend page. But if you like this page, or what is friended, or you know, all that, this helps as well. If you friend me on Facebook, and you, if you'd like to be on my mailing list, and all, you know, positioning with all this streaming kind of stuff is very worth it, and I appreciate all of you who've been supportive. I feel like I've got this family out there, and when the world gets right again, and I can use all that credit I have on Southwest Airlines, I hope to come and see you all. But for right now, I certainly appreciate if you can make a donation. If you cannot, this concert is for you. So that's not the point. But I'll share with you. This is a little rude, but here we are at the end of an hour. But I've gotten 400, 500 views, and 4 or 5 people donate. So that's the way that goes. It was the higher percentage. It was more like 2% than 1% a little while ago. But I'm not expecting every single person to shell out, but I would definitely appreciate it if you can find it there somewhere to share with us some of that corrupt U.S. currency. So my wish for you, as now we part, is for greater peace to fill your heart with dreams as vast as starry space. So hurt and anger know no place. May truth be shared and wounds be healed, and joy for living be revealed. Through every fate and circumstance, may hope lead weary steps to dance, and may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. May fears be turned with keen insight to wisdom for what's just and right. Where sorrow grows, compassion strong, and pains will pass before too long. May the bounds of our diversity serve a richer harmony. May courage hold your heart so true to smile on love when it smiles on you. And may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. Be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night. So thank you, everybody. For a long time. very much. Hope you can come back and visit us. I'm going to look for announcements about, I'm going to have guests join me. We can't play together, but we can share the screen and trade songs. I'm going to get my daughter Louisa to be playing too. One of our themes coming up will be classical and comical. And I'm working on having some other wonderful singer-songwriters come and join me for a concert. I just love that little chord progression. This is C minor, this is the 1 chord, and 4, 5, 1, and you can do all kinds of things with it. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and be well. Wear your mask, wash your hands. Don't be a statistic. Shelter well, love each other. Thanks. We hope to see you again.